back to my channel. So I haven't done a cream contour and highlight video since about 3 years ago, so I thought I'd update you guys on new methods and new products that I love to use. And one of the products that I'm using today is this Sleek Makeup Cream Contour Kit. This is new by Sleek, and so many of you guys have requested for me to do a contour video using this, and I genuinely do really love it, which is why I have decided to do a video with it. And it looks like this. You get 6 different shades in there. I necessarily don't actually use all 6 shades. It's entirely up to you. However, in this Sleek kind of box that it comes in, it has this little piece of paper which explains how you can use all 6 shades, and it does make sense entirely to me, but for me, I just feel like I don't need to, and my head is so small that there's not enough space for 6 shades. I just don't think I need to use it. So yeah, this also comes in 3 shades, a light, medium and dark, and I have the medium palette. So I'm not only going to be showing you guys how to cream contour, I'm also going to be showing you how to set it all in place and powder contour on top of that, and you're going to see it in all of the different stages. And I'm now going to leave this overly long intro so that you can enjoy this video. But if there's anything else you'd love to see from me next, or anything you'd like to learn, then please make sure you comment down below and let me know what it is. Make sure you're following me on Snapchat, Instagram, all of that other good stuff, which is also going to be linked down below. And yeah, enjoy this video. Okay, so I'm starting off with no makeup on my face whatsoever, so no foundation or anything like that. And I'm just showing you guys where I would place my contour. So from the end of the ear, taking it down towards the corner of the mouth. And you can kind of just make a little fish face to see where the hollows of your cheeks are to give you better direction. So using Sleek's contour kit, I'm using shade 6, which is the darkest one in the palette, and I'm just drawing out a line like I showed you before, so from the end of my ear down towards the corner of my mouth, and I'm just thickening it up slightly, as you can see, and I'm just using a flat mini foundation brush to do this with. And then I'm just placing this same colour on the temples of my forehead. If you have a larger forehead, I would suggest taking this all the way around your forehead, but mine's quite small, so I like to keep mine on the temples only and then leave some room for highlight in the centre of my forehead. And as you can see, I'm just taking some more further down onto the temples. On a thinner brush, I'm just taking the same shade down the sides of my nose, and this is just to slim my nose out a little bit more and give it some definition. You don't want to forget just rounding off the tip of your nose and making sure to get that part too. Then just taking shade 5, which is slightly lighter. I'm just taking this along the jawline. This is just to get rid of any kind of double chin that you may have going on. But yeah, I'm also just going to take that same shade just below my bottom lip to make it appear fuller. I'm then taking my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Ginger, which is a couple shades lighter than my actual skin tone, and this is just going to go on my dark circles. So the reason why I'm using a concealer to do this highlighting bit with is just because I kind of need the coverage. So I want to go in with the concealer just on my under eye area, and as you can see, I'm just taking it in like an upside down triangle shape and fanning it out. And then to highlight and really brighten the area, I'm using my MAC Prep and Prime highlight pen in the shade Light Boost, and I'm just fanning this out over the top of that, like I said before, just to brighten up the area underneath my eyes. I'm also just taking this down the bridge of my nose, again to highlight, and then I'm taking this on the centre of my forehead. So this is just going to bring areas on the face forward, and any areas where we've contoured, those are areas that we want to push back and kind of slim out, if that makes sense. I'm also just taking this along my top lip, again to push it forward to make it look fuller. And then I'm just taking it below my contour on my cheeks, and what that will do is it will make the contour appear a lot sharper. I'm also just taking this on the chin as well. And then I'm just taking a mixture of shade 4 and 5, so I don't want to go too dark, and I'm just taking that a little bit above the contour on my cheeks and also just along the edges of the contour on my forehead. That's just going to blend it out a little bit and soften it up. And then this is what it should look like once you've drawn out all your shapes on your face and you've got your highlight and contour in place. So just using a duo fiber brush, I'm just blending out those edges of the shapes that we've created. So I'm not using this brush to completely wipe out the contour that we've done and completely blend it into the skin. I really want to keep it all there, but I'm just really softly blending out those edges so that when it comes to applying our foundation, it won't be so much of a struggle. So as you can see, just really softly blending out the edges of the contour, and then we just want to go in with our foundation. So I'm using my Makeup Forever HD foundation stick, and I'm just applying this onto the end of my beauty blender, and I'm just going to pat this all over my skin. So with a beauty blender, you just want to keep bouncing it around, and this is really nicely going to blend your foundation in with the contour. And as you can see, it's not going to make it disappear whatsoever. You can still see those lines, which is why we didn't blend it out completely with the brush before that. So you just want to keep bouncing this around the skin until you achieve a flawless base, and just using the pointed part of the beauty blender, which is clean, I'm just going to blend out the under eye area. Also, we just want to make sure that area stays nice and bright, and this is what the cream contour looks like all blended out. And as you can see, it can look really nice and natural, which is what I love. But you just want to set all of those areas in place and keep it locked in. So I've mixed my Nye Banana Powder and my Mercier translucent powder, and just using my damp beauty blender sponge, I'm just packing this on. This method is called baking, so we're really packing on that powder, and we want it to settle on the skin, and this is just only in the areas that we've highlighted. So this is what it should look like once all of your baking is complete, and you should have left all of your contoured areas with completely no powder on them. And we're going to go over that with a contour powder now, and this is my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm just mixing the two contour shades in the palette and just going over where we previously contoured with an angled brush. And as you can see, just blending over the top of that just to redefine those contours. Again, not forgetting the nose. Cream and powder contouring is something I would do for an event or a night out because it is quite intense. Otherwise, I would just do one or the other. It's entirely up to you. Then just with a clean brush, I'm just dusting away any of that excess powder from the baking that we did earlier. And now we know that our makeup is locked in place and it is not moving. It is set and good to go. So this is what it looks like once everything has been dusted away and all of your powders have been done. Then, of course, if we're going to powder contour, we also need to powder highlight, which is one of my favorite parts. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Illuminator in the shade So Hollywood. And just on a fluffy, tapered blending brush, this is actually an eyeshadow brush, but I like to use it for my highlight. I am just applying this on the tops of my cheekbones and down the bridge of my nose and on the tip. And I like to layer my highlights, so I'm just going over with my Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlighter, and again just going over the top of that on my cheekbones. And then I decided to make that brush a bit damp with Fix Plus Spray, then go back over it with the same highlight to really make it pop. And this is what all of the powder contouring and highlighting and cream contouring and highlighting looks like all together and all done. And this is the finished look, guys, with the rest of your makeup on. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up, share it, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye!